So I'm going to run you through a quick demonstration of how the Logitech MS Ink Stylus works with Gravity Sketch. I'm going to do a quick sketch demo, draw some cars, and you can see what it's all about. So you'll see in front of me, I've got my two controllers. I've got my stylus. You can really just draw on any surface, or you can just draw in the air. As soon as I pick up the stylus, it becomes active. I can sketch with it. When it comes to some of the hardcore modeling, you really just divert to the other controller when you need to do some more complex stuff. Another thing to take notice, I've set up my environment in mixed reality mode, and I've got my grid sort of aligned to the table, and that makes it really nice to sketch right on the table. Just pick a bright, flat white color. To draw in the air, we use the forward button. To undo, we use the rearward button, and then if we want to grab something, we use the middle button. We can grab and delete, we can grab and duplicate. If we are drawing on a hard surface, the tip is pressure sensitive and it'll just draw by itself. So I think I'm going to sketch a Jaguar. There's a lot of talk in the media today about the new Jaguar, the rebranding. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. I've got my opinions, but I'll tell you one thing. I think Jaguar, if you go back throughout its history, Jaguar was the epitome of beautiful, of voluptuous, of elegant, dynamic. And in my opinion, the new concept, while it's very interesting and may be appropriate for some other brands, it's just, to me, it's just not quite what Jaguar is known for. And so I'm going to do my take on the Jaguar rebranding. I'm going to start with a nice little side view sketch, just like I would sketch on a piece of paper. Sketch my wheels and start sketching my silhouette. Sketch a nice, elegant belt line, just like I would sketch on a piece of paper. Really flowing, dynamic curves. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it that more upright windscreen. That is one thing that's working well with the show car. I can just grab the entire side view with the selection sphere, group it, and then bring it up into space, like this. Now I'm going to start working in 3D space. And I'm going to start grabbing the wheels and some of the key lines and just start bringing them out in space. Bring these wheels out just a bit further. Maybe the front end needs to get extended a little bit. Bring this belt line out just a bit. You can see it's already starting to take on some dimension and some form. What I can do is I can just kind of set it down on the table, start sketching out a plan view shape. I'm just using the table as a planar sketch surface. So it really kind of saves the step of having to use the planar sketch mode. I think I'm going to bring that center line a bit further forward. Maybe elongate the rear one. Maybe elongate the wheelbase just a little bit. Okay, so once I have a pretty good sense of the car in 3D space, you just start to delete some of the items in the front there. And then I can start to sketch in space a little bit. And now let's say we want to start mirroring this design. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my mirror. Now that I have everything mirrored, I can really start to get a sense of the scale and proportion of this thing. And I can already tell some changes that I want to make. We're going to use some inspiration from the Jaguar E-Type and start to capture that really elegant window shape. You can see now that I have the mirror turned on, everything is getting reflected on the other side. I think I am going to go into planar mode and just sketch out a little bit cleaner center line. And start to get that really iconic back window. Just going to let this be a really loose sketch. You see now I'm just kind of sketching in the air. This back end needs to get a little bit longer. And maybe we just make these wheels a little bigger. And then using radial symmetry or polar symmetry, and I can do some really cool sort of turbine style wheels. Copy those to the rear and go back to planar setting. Just continue sketching out that center line. So that's starting to look really, really elegant. We're going to taper in this front end, and then I'm going to introduce some really elegant rounded headlights. Elliptical opening there. You can also edit your points, the grab cube. So if you want to do a cleaner drawing, you can always go in and edit your lines. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to do some sub-D surfacing, just some basic sub-D surfacing to get some shape and form into this car. I'm going to go into my layers. I'm going to go ahead and lock that layer, add a new layer. I'm going to make that transparent. Let's pick a kind of a glossy silver color. Maybe we'll go into our HDR settings and introduce some reflectivity. And I'm just going to go ahead and start to drag some simple sections. You can snap points to the curves if you want to. That can help when it comes to getting your surfaces aligned more closely to your original sketch. So I'm just going to have these sections sort of fan out from the tires. And then from there you can grow additional surfaces. And very quickly you can get a nice sort of first read on your design. You can see I'm starting to get a bit of shape and form. Yeah, oh, that's interesting. You can see I'm starting to get some really nice highlights and reflections across that body side. I'm just pulling one surface out from the next, and everything just sort of welds and snaps together really easily. It's almost one-handed. And it adds a bit more loft to this front fender. I'm going to start cutting out this this really elegant frontal opening. And it's really starting to have some Jaguar flavor to it. I mean, just look at that front fender and that hood. And then I'm going to start to pull out a hood detail, sort of reminiscent of the original E-Type. Just such an iconic design. Look at that. And see how quickly you can generate an amazing model. It just happens so fast. Really play up that the fender form. You see, you can add points, you can delete points really easily. You can slide points along edges. So while this has a lot of the same sort of silhouette and proportions of the new Type 00 concept, it's much more elegant and sensual shape. You know, I could just play up these fender haunches and really make it beautiful. And then go in with a darker material and do a glass. You can see it automatically joins at the center line. You can see just how quickly surfaces can form. So you can see how it's really taking on a beautiful form, but it also still has this sort of sketch-like quality. You know, without being terribly precise. It doesn't need to be super precise. It can stay loose and sketchy. And later on, we can really start to tighten it up into a believable model. So I'm going to go in with custom revolve and a volume brush. And I'm going to go in with flat black and just start to fill in some of these wheel wells. You know, just kind of fills in the shape. And just again, try not to be too tight or prescriptive. I'm going to go in with my custom volume too, and just sort of fill in just really loosely some of the blackout areas. I'm just sort of sketching in an indication of tire and shadow. Really just starting to become an impression. Just sort of like filling it in as like a 3D marker. It just gives it an added sense of dimension and detail. Turn on my polar symmetry and do some really cool sort of wheel concepts. A turbine-like. Copy that to the rear. You can see how quickly you can generate some amazing surfaces and lines. And then I can just go in with some indications of doors. So it becomes really sketch-like. Just some subtle indications of parting lines and graphics. Add some dimension to this opening here. and really start to dial in this lamp graphic. Really nice, quick, loose sketch. Jaguar E-type sort of vehicle. Just enough detail, just enough to sort of give the impression of its overall form. Admittedly, this is a fairly retro version of what a Jaguar could be. I'm personally doing some exploration on what a totally new Jaguar form language could look like, but overall I'm pretty happy. And this is just, like I said, literally just a 3D sketch, just using my stylus to just quickly draw the lines, block in the surfaces, do some quick edits, and just very quickly get the overall form, and then I can move on to a much more detailed, much more refined model. So I hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions.